This weekend, the Strongman Champions League comes to Gloucester in England. So we did a quick video on this competition a few months back. The lineup has unfortunately changed a little bit. A few changes, few injuries. That's kind of typical in strongman. But we have 14 athletes coming to battle over 5 grueling events. I'm going to be doing the emceeing. Liz is going to be doing the behind the scenes stuff. Some really good athletes coming with some up and coming new people that a lot of you wouldn't have heard of. So it's going to be an exciting weekend to really see some great old faces and some new up and comers.
So it's not actually that often that Strongman Champions League comes to England. I can only think of one other time, which was about 5 years ago.
Yeah, it's been a while since we've had them over here, that's for sure.
Yeah, this time it's being hosted by Unbreakable Promotions, and it's going to be at Gloucester Quays this Saturday. You're very excited, aren't you, Lozzie?
I am excited. For my whole strongman career, I never got to do a big show in front of a hometown. So I'm still not going to get to do one, but I'm glad there is one. Yeah. I know a lot of people are interested in coming. If you are interested in coming to the show, there is a link in the description below of where you can get tickets.
So let's quickly remind ourselves of the events, because the events for this are pretty cool. I'm looking forward to seeing some of these, and also the refreshed lineup. Yeah,
we'll look at the lineup in a second, but the events are really cool. 5 events. They have the log lift for reps, 150 kilo, 8-foot log, big, awkward, going to be hard. They have the farmer's walk, again 150 kilos in each hand. I believe these are 9-foot long.
They are.
Long and wide, really awkward once again. The event I am most looking forward to, very different, is the Viking walk. It's a little bit, I guess it's a little bit like a yoke. It's a huge, big log that the athletes have 2 kind of rope handles attached to, and they get under it and they've just got to lift it and carry it. It's massive. This is going to be a real test for a lot of the guys. It's an event I would actually really like to try.
Yeah, I think you'd have been really good at something like this.
Maybe, but I may try and sneak in and just try it with a bit of a lighter weight on it. You know? We'll see. But it's going to be a cool looking event. Very different, very rustic. Just something that I think visually is going to be impressive. And then we have the deadlift ladder, which they are using Atlas stones as the weight. So it's a slightly elevated deadlift.
Yeah, I think the athletes will be on plinths. So.
Yeah, and it's up to 380 kilos.
Yes, that's right, yeah.
And then they are finishing with the Atlas stones. So 5 events, and I think visually these are all going to look really cool. So excuse me for looking at my phone, but the list of athletes has been increased. So we have 14 athletes competing in this show. Starting off with Irvin Toits, who's done a few of the Champions Leagues now. He's done very well. He's won a couple, I think, or he's certainly been top 2.
He's definitely podiumed a few, yeah.
Sean O'Hagan from Ireland, he's done a number of these competitions. We don't often see Sean in many international shows, but he does compete quite regularly in the Champions League. He's a big giant of a man. And I'm actually looking forward to seeing how he does with these events. Another person I'm really looking forward to seeing, the return of Travis Ortmeyer.
Yes.
Travis coming back to the UK, one of the regulars at World's Strongest Man when I was competing and kind of on the way up. He had a little hiatus from Strongman, went through a real difficult phase, and since then has just come back stronger. He's in a good place, and I know he's looking forward to this show. Then we have Kelvin de Ruyter, the former overall winner of the Champions League. The huge man from the Netherlands. He's like 6'9", 6'10".
Oh, he's a giant.
And we continue with the big men. This time from Wales, we have the monster, the sausage, the bull, Gav Bilton. We've kind of come up with about 5 different nicknames for Gav now. But Gav just hot off a really impressive performance at Giants Live a few weeks ago in Wales. And this is another show where I'm sure he's going to have a lot of support. It's not too far for him to travel. Gav coming to do big things at this show. And then his big Scottish rival, Andy Black, also competing in this one.
Oh, is Andy a new addition to this lineup?
Yeah, Andy is in this lineup. He's been very busy recently.
Andy hasn't stopped. He did the Shaw Classic Open a couple of days ago.
He did, and week before that he was in Cardiff. Yeah, he's going to be a tired man.
Yeah. Another big boy, though.
He is. This comp's full of big boys. Then we have a newcomer, David Pawlowski. Now, David won the qualifier to get into this competition. From Poland originally, but living over in the UK. He's done a few shows. I've seen him before. I saw him compete in London's Strongest Man a couple of years ago, making big progress all the time. So he will be someone to look out for. Now, I know Lizzie will be happy about this one. Ivers Schmalkstelis is coming over, and he was in good form at the Shore Classic this weekend.
Looking very good, yeah. One of his best performances recently. Certainly this year, yeah.
Absolutely. And Ivers has done extremely well in a lot of the Champions League shows. So I think Ivers is going to be someone to really look out for. And I'm really looking forward to seeing this guy, Ryan Bennett. He won England's Strongest Man earlier this year. He's one of my boys. I've been coaching him for a few years now. He's making really great progress. Good mix of events for him on this. He's not someone that has any one standout event, but just very, very solid throughout, and I can't wait to see how he does. We are back to the Giants with Mika Toro from Finland. This competition is going to have a few absolutely monsters, so if you like your strongmen big, you're going to love this show.
This is the place to be, my goodness.
Then we have Roberto Rodriguez. He's done a few Champions Leagues, not so well known on the international scene. Lewis Jack from Scotland, up-and-coming athlete from Scotland, done some really impressive things this year. Jordan Osborne from Australia is coming over.
Okay.
This is a new face to me. I've never actually seen Jordan compete, so looking forward to seeing what he can do. And then finally, he might not be the tallest man in this competition. He's going to look actually quite short next to a number of these athletes. But he is someone I think is going to come and do extremely well, is Paul Smith. He's had a very good year so far. He won UK's Strongest Man, did very, very well in the Giants Live Strongman Classic, and he's been training very hard for this show. So that is a cracking lineup.
It's a really interesting mix of athletes, isn't it? It's kind of like Giants Live meets, or Britain's Strongest Man at least meets Strongman Champions League. It's an
a lot of new names for the Champions League.
Yeah.
A lot of new names for us that maybe haven't seen so many, or a lot of new names for people that maybe haven't seen so many Champions League shows as well. I think it's going to be a hell of a show.
So I know we don't know all of these guys, so predictions becomes more difficult, but off the top of your head, do you have any thoughts?
Yeah, looking at this lineup, I mean, I think from what I saw last weekend, I think Ivers is going to be up there. He's a very consistent performer. I think his experience just competing regularly and looking at how he's back in form, I think he'll kind of continue on that trajectory. I think guys like Paul Smith, I think Gav Bilton could do very well. Travis Ortmeyer, he's someone that will, Travis is a good competitor. I'm not sure what kind of shape he's in. I've not seen him competing so much recently.
No.
But I do think with the events, anything could happen because it's such a mixture of events, and that things like the Viking Walk, that's going to really throw a lot of people off. I know that Gav Bilton has done that before. They did it at Wales Strongest Man, and he was very dominant in that event.
Okay.
So it does look like it suits the bigger men.
There's quite a few big men.
There is a number of big men in here.
But I know it feels like we're saying big men a lot, but these are some of the biggest guys in strongman all in one place. So all it's really missing is Brian. Yeah,
you don't often get this many close to 7 foot guys in one competition.
No.
Paul is going to look really
small. Poor Paul. But how cool will it look if Paul goes in and kicks everyone's ass?
It could happen. He's looking in good shape. So it is a really hard show to predict, I think, with the mixture of events and the variety of the athletes. I think we're going to see ups and downs throughout the whole show, and I think it's going to come down to who can be the most consistent, who doesn't make any mistakes.
Yeah.
And I'm going to throw it out there, and I'm actually going to predict Paul Smith to win this one.
Are you really? Very interesting.
Yeah, even though he is the shorter man, even though I've just said that I think shorter guys may struggle a bit on the Viking Walk.
You think he won't struggle a bit on the deadlift, maybe?
I don't think there's that many amazing deadlifters in this competition. He's not up against the likes of,
Gav should do well.
Gav should do well on the deadlift.
Andy should do. I don't know what shape Andy's in. He looks tired.
Yeah, I think Andy probably needs a bit of a break.
Yeah.
But it's not a list of athletes where you look at the deadlift world championships.
No.
And I think Paul may be able to do enough to get some points on there. I think the farmer's walk he can be exceptional at. His yoke is solid. His log for reps is very solid, and he's very good at stones as well.
Yeah.
So if he can do well on that Viking walk as well, I think he's going to score big points. I think the likes of Kelvin de Ruyter could do very well on some events, drop points on others. Gav Bilton could do extremely well on this one.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, because some of the guys that do the Strongman Champions League, A lot of the ones that are very good at strongman events aren't the best at the static movements like the log and the deadlift, and we see that in the likes of Calvin de Ruyter and Mika Toro.
Yeah, there's two athletes there that maybe could do exceptionally well in 3 events, not so well in 2 events.
Yeah,
and like I said, it's going to come to that consistency. But honestly, who knows? It's going to be an exciting show. I'm really looking forward to it. And I think that uncertainty of how people will do will make it exciting.
So as we said, guys, there's a link to tickets in the description below. It's this Saturday at Gloucester Quays. Very reasonably priced tickets. You can buy them for as little as less than £10 for children. I think £10 for standing adults and £25 if you want to sit in the grandstand. We will be there, so if you can't make it on Saturday, check back on the channel and we will give you all the gossip and the behind the scenes.